Welcome to the quarantine show starring Mount Zion.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Quarantine Show starring Mount Zion. I, again, am Reverend Jonathan Harris, the pastor here at Mount Zion United Methodist Church in Central South Carolina. I'm sitting at the piano today because our treat this week is that we get to hear from Barbara Anderson, our choir director and pianist here at Mount Zion. So you'll get to learn more about her and about the amazing person she is. You'll get to see some fun that we have with a game called Random Musical Instrument Challenge. And then you can find out more about how to support one of our amazing local businesses, All In Coffee Shop in Clemson. So enjoy today's episode of the Quarantine Show. So I'll want to welcome anybody who happens to be watching this. Our special person today who we have is Barbara Anderson, who's the choir director and pianist at Mount Zion. And so want to welcome you again and thank you for taking a chance with this picture. So one of the purposes of doing this is to help people in the church who are feeling disconnected and aren't getting to see other people they're used to seeing on a regular basis, just a chance to see others and hear from them. And so I know, Barbara, you'd shared with me when I first got here the story about how you got here and how you weren't planning to work at a church. And yet you ended up here. So I didn't know if you'd be willing to share a little bit about that for anybody in the church who might not know a little bit about that story.
Sure. In 2018, I resigned from my church in North Carolina. And I told them up there, I said, I probably won't even go to church for a year because I was moving to South Carolina. And I said, I need to get set up and do school and all that stuff. And as it turned out, I lived in an RV for 3 months, waiting on the house to be ready. And I was just in the RV one night and I said, I think I'm going to look on Indeed.com and see if there are any churches that need somebody to play the piano or lead. And so I felt compelled after I saw Malik's video and read a little bit about the church. Pastor Gene was very patient to wait, to find out about where the house was going to be and things like that. And I attribute that to it being a God thing. And I was so happy that I actually responded to that evening to that compulsion to look.
I'm glad you responded too. Great. And I know something else that I was interested to learn about you when, I think even before I got here, was just that like you have theological training, and how I think for a lot of musicians with my background being in music as well, there are a lot of folks who don't have that. And I think that's just been a blessing for me to see and to experience in your spirituality. But I was just curious from your vantage point, how has that impacted like how you see what you do at the church and how you do it?
I think I know I went to Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, and I think having that background, it just sort of seals together stuff that you knew before you went, but you're able to sort of tie it in a little more sophisticated way, I guess. They're very good training there in Fort Worth. I was there, but I graduated in 1992, and so things have changed a lot at that seminary since then. But it was still a fairly moderate seminary at that time. And so I was glad to be there when I was.
Yeah, I think I told you before just how, I've known like musicians who do work in church and you can tell they're just a musician.
Yeah.
And that it's just such a blessing for me, and I think for the church, to have somebody who is a great musician, but who also is a very spiritual person with strong faith and a desire to truly be in ministry and not just to play music. And so that's been a huge blessing for me.
I feel like the blessing's all mine too.
So one other thing that I wanted to just touch on is obviously, and I think most people in the church know this, but that you're also a teacher, that you teach school. And so I was just curious if you'd be willing to share a little bit about kind of what it's been like teaching and being in ministry, especially during this season when the whole world's turned upside down.
Well, the survey they sent at the end, how has this gone for you? I just put, I'm a much better classroom teacher. I think that summed it all up for me. But I teach a lot of students who didn't have the resources with Wi-Fi or even having a computer. Their Chromebook, they lost it or it broke or they couldn't get it to work. And so I think a lot of them just were overwhelmed being at home. They had a lot of things, especially after the tornado came through. And they mentioned we've been out just helping the community and working. And so at that point, I thought, your math skills, we'll get it next semester if you don't get it this semester. But I had one student who had to go to the doctor. She was so stressed out about the whole thing. And so I tried to just tell her, this isn't what this is about. Do the best you can. And all of my students ended up passing. They were able to do enough. But some of their grades weren't as high as they were while we were at school because they didn't have the support that we can give them at the school. But it's definitely been an unusual time. If you told me last year, you're going to get to be home for 9 weeks, I'd have gone, yay! But when I realized you're still carrying the burden, but you don't have the power to help as you're used to, and seeing the students is why I teach. So it was a big hole in my life, I think.
Yeah. And
we don't know what's going to happen in the fall. So we're just going to pray our way through that too and hope for the best.
Being someone who's inside at the school and obviously has had to do education from a distance for the last few months, are there any needs or opportunities you see for the church to be part of that support that students need?
Yes, we have a lady at our our school, who sent out a plea for food support, money or bringing food. We have quite a number of students who needed that and still do. So the teachers really rallied and sent in a lot of money, and I think people in the community who were able also were giving. But that's a year-round need at West Oak High School. We have a lot of students, and a lot of them will never mention that they need it. So Sharon Ross is good about seeking them out. She knows the people and she knows who needs the help. So but I think that's one of the biggest ones is just food and clothing for some.
Yeah, I know even just in the local community here. So obviously where you teach, that's geographically a little farther removed from where the church is located. But I know just right where we are, I think I want to say that the food that's been provided for the last 2.5 months, that with school ending, that technically I believe that some of that is winding down. And so I think over the summer will be a need even right here.
Yes.
So thanks for sharing about that. So one of the other things, reasons for doing this is to hopefully give people something to smile about during this time when we all need something to smile about. And so you had graciously agreed or had your arm twisted to try out something here for people to hopefully get some joy out of. So we are going to do a game that's called the Random Musical Instrument Challenge. It's straight from the Tonight Show. And so my lovely producer, Marissa, sent you 3 songs for you to play on some random kids' instruments that I passed along to you from our house. And I have 3 songs that my 7-year-old wrote down, and I have no clue what they are. I have some fears about that. And so I have 3 of their instruments. So I will venture and go first. I'll try to play some of these. So I'm going to open up my envelope.
Drum roll, please.
We'll see. All right, this is what I was afraid of. All right, so, oh man, which instrument I'm gonna go with? Oh goodness. All right, I'll go. I've got a recorder. So we'll try this out. All right, here's our first one. I think what.
It's a something night.
There you go. Hard Day's Night.
Story night.
Hard Day's Night. The Beatles. All right.
Hard Day's Night.
Yeah. All right. So now your turn.
I think Isaac picked these songs out too. So,
Okay.
On the mighty Lightning McQueen
Lightning
ukulele.
McQueen guitar. All right.
No, never actually played one of these, I don't think, except when my sister had one when she was 9.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Oops, I already messed up.
That's all right. This Little Light of Mine?
Thank goodness, because I don't know any more notes.
That was great. That was great.
Yeah,
By the way,
that's
the thing I forgot to and that many people do not probably know is that we both had music degrees from Winthrop.
Yes, Winthrop.
So
We didn't have lessons on ukulele, okay?
I don't know if this is a positive commercial for Winthrop Music Department or not. All right.
Well, my degree was so long ago, it doesn't count anyway.
So this one, I don't know if you even know the song. I don't know that I can play it, so that might not even matter. But
I barely knew the last ones. Oh!
I've got this Paw Patrol guitar.
That's a really nice one.
The kind that John Lennon played.
Okay.
Our model here. All right, so good luck. You can tell this is a pop song because it only has 3 notes.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna give up. This that
We're
was
gonna say that was Britney Spears.
So that was again Isaac selected this. That was the Red Hot Chili Peppers song, California.
No, that was right on the tip of my tongue. Well, my instrument this time is the glockenspiel. Well, glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel. All right.
I should go ahead and tell you the name of the song because I probably can't pick it out.
That's all right.
Nope. Let me get in the right key here.
I cannot. Is it Marching to Zion?
There you go.
Wow.
You mean I played that whole verse for no reason? I went
You're
out to
good.
get a key that had a flat in it.
You're better at this than I am.
I'm not good at playing by ear, but
All right, so my last instrument is the kazoo. So I think I might stand a chance at this.
okay.
We'll see. So this might not be the easiest song. Here we go.
I know it. Da, 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 dee, da, da, da. Believe in yesterday. Yesterday. All my troubles seem so far away.
Yes. Until I had to pick up all these instruments and try to play something.
Exactly. Humiliate yourself in front of Facebook land.
All right, so what's your last instrument? I guess don't tell me the song.
I have no idea what this is.
The Ladybug.
It's the ladybug, and
All
I can't
right.
tell that. I think all the notes sound the same, so we're going to go with the rhythm on this next.
All right. Sounds good.
Let's see. Da, da, da.
Oh, was that Piano Man?
Yeah! On the mighty ladybug.
On the Ladybug.
Woo!
Good job. Sure. Putting that musical talent to good.
Well, you got to stay in practice.
Yeah, you're much better at that. Awesome. So so the last thing that I wanted to do, really the other purpose of doing this, is to try to get the word out and support some of our local businesses that have gone on perhaps some hard times, and just remind people to support those, because these places are doing a lot of good in our community. And so tell us a little bit about what you had selected.
There's a coffee shop in Clemson called the All In Coffee Shop on 106 Earl Street. They are a locally owned man and wife who have traveled internationally quite a bit. The man was a craftsman through the years, but they've put their heart and soul into this coffee shop starting in 2012. It's a respite for students. They can go in and take as long as they want to study or to gather. It's just a quiet place with a very, I think, positive atmosphere. They always want a smiling person up front to serve. The biggest draw is they have home-baked goods that just would rival your grandmother's kitchen. They have international coffees each day, as well as a house blend. They also have tea that is just some of the best tea that you can drink. It's not bitter or anything like that. And then they do have sandwiches, breakfast sandwiches and things like that. But they've struggled during the quarantine because they're mainly student-based through the year. And when the students were sent home, they just had to close for a while, and then they've tried to open back up where you could pick things up. And then now I think you can eat inside as well. Have a dining area out front. And after I chose this, I got to thinking one of the last times I was there inside eating, we ran into Benji Cumby and family. so he knows about All In.
Yeah.
But it's a
and
wonderful place.
If you'd gone on a Saturday morning, you probably would have seen me there.
There you go. Yep. So it's
be
good to give them some business and get them back to running full speed.
Yeah, that's a great business. I've gotten to meet the owner on several occasions. I know
Awesome.
that he really views that not just as a business, but as a ministry to the community.
Absolutely.
So that's
incredible mural on the ceiling, that hand-painted mural of places from all over the world. And So it's just a unique place.
Yeah. Yeah. So encourage people. I will go out at some point and buy something for my family, probably some of those sweets
Yes.
home as a treat for the family, but encourage anybody who happens to be watching to go out and support All In and continue the important work that they do in our community. So
They have some soy candles and some other things from around the world to purchase. And they have gluten-free things. My sister put me on to All In, and one of the reasons she can get gluten-free things there. So
yeah. So yeah, everybody support All In coffee shop in downtown Clemson. Barbara, that wasn't too awful, I hope.
it was pretty bad.
And so you'll see your face on the internet tomorrow.
I figure if Janet Crenshaw can do Zoom, so can I.
There you go. There you go. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for just your really meaningful ministry that you do at Mount Zion, and the obviously the ministry that you do, for your students as a teacher. So look forward to seeing you and talking to you again real soon.
Better days are ahead.
All right. See you, Barbara.
See ya.
Oh, thanks for tuning in again today. Thank you to Barbara for being part of today's episode. And thank you to everyone in advance for supporting the work that All In Coffee Shop does. See you next time.